More than a negative impact on planning, I think they're having a negative impact on planners. I feel that people feel chained to their desks to try and drawn to as much data points as possible, because they feel that they have to substantiate anything that they want to bring to the client. And I think that that's slightly detrimental to what we are trying to achieve in the industry. I feel that data should be kind of a background pool that we then can draw on as we go about life and finding right ideas and solutions to client problems. But at the moment that's not working quite right, and I don't think that actually there is much useful data going into planning for clients. There's just lots of it, and I think what we need to be aiming to do is streamlining the data sets that we use and actually just generating more key and vital insights from those that come from various sides of life. It might be a chat down the pub with someone once we have done enough research and background.
I think the thing about data is people assume that data is a quant thing, and actually data is all sorts of things. It could be one person's voice, it could be a cultural thing. So I think for me the big challenge that we've got is to find, not to get sucked into the stuff that is just visible and the short term and just digital. It's actually just to make sure we're connecting to general cultural and human insights, and making sure that the kind of data that we're using is interesting, not just right. And it's sort of that for me is the big challenge, is to make sure we focus on the big picture stuff, the stuff that is going to change brands and lead brands and take them forwards, not just optimize brands.
Do you think that the planner's life has become increasingly harder with the abundance of data and the rise of algorithms?
Yeah, I mean, I think the planner's job's getting harder in the sense that it's easier to do an average job and it's harder to do a great job. And to do a great job, I think you have to get away from the algorithms, get away from the computers, get away from the mobile phone, get away from Google, and all the things that are so accessible to us every day. You need to just go and find, talk to real people, find real insights, go into the wild. It could be from anywhere, but algorithms aren't just the answer. It has to come from instinct, and it has to come from different kinds of data, small and big, which complement that.
I think if we do it right, then algorithms and data are a big part of what planning is. I think if we do it wrong, then we will allow ourselves to be marginalised, and we'll allow ourselves to be potentially even replaced. But I think as long as we're applying imagination and creativity to the right parts of the strategic questions, there'll always be a role for planning for people alongside algorithms and data.
I think, in fact, the question is probably missing the bigger opportunity for planning, because planning historically was about finding insights to create growth for businesses by understanding what makes consumers tick and how to influence them. And I think an algorithm in marketing communications that can deliver against that objective is in itself a great planning tool. So I think the people capable of developing algorithms that work are indeed planning stars themselves. But also I'd say that planning as a means of interpreting and influencing consumer behaviour will always have a role to play, because it's a driver of top-line growth, not just of bottom-line efficiency. And even if that isn't reflected in digital marketing, it will be reflected in other elements of the business process.